Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone, and we are here to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville and all of its family feud glory. There's a lot that went on. I have a whole lot to say. Listen, lately there's been a lot of diversified energy going on in the comments. And listen, it is what it is. You know, I'm cultivating a space here where I am freely expressing myself in terms of what I think and feel and believe. And right now that is in regard to this TV show and a few others. And I'm going to say what I have to say. And, you know, if you disagree, I have a wide open comment section for you to do so respectfully. So please manage your energy, okay? Just keep it cute. And my thing is, I'm not going to tell people not to disagree or, you know, you can't even vehemently disagree with me. You're going to be who you are. You're going to feel how you feel. I can't take you out of you and you can't take me out of me. And that's the beauty of all of this, okay? So, I mean, let's be us. Let's be respectful. And let's just remember that this is just my opinion. I'm just saying what I think. I watched the TV show. I'm here talking about a TV show, not nobody's mama, or yours at least, you know. They somebody's mama, but they ain't, you know. So that's all I have to say about that. Before we get into the review, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. Yeah, let's just get on into this because there's a lot to go over. There's a lot that kind of went on. It was all over the place. Let's just break it down. So the episode starts out with this meeting between Kimmy, Mel, and Stormy. They're meeting at a restaurant for tacos and to talk about what went down at Mel's Christmas party. So they start out rehashing the whole incident between Stormy and Tiffany. And Stormy lets them know that she's had drinks with Tiffany and that she and Tiffany are in a better space now, and she's just trying to not really have an issue with her. Kimmy goes ahead and takes over, and she gets down to what she came here for. So what I really wanted to know since the Christmas party that I wasn't going to ask at the Christmas party because it just wasn't the right time or place is how come Keke was there, but Tisha nor Destiny were there? I don't understand. Mel starts by explaining why Keke was there. And she starts by explaining that she and Keke have a mutual friend. Mel has been friends with the mutual friend for about 14 years and says that she kind of knows Keke through this friend rather than through Tisha. And that she has been talking to Keke on the phone for a few years now. She says that, you know, she and Keke have never had a problem. And so she doesn't feel any type of way about inviting her. She doesn't feel bad about it at all. Kimmy in the confessional is like, I've never, ever seen Keke at any of Mel's events. So I'm trying to figure out what was the whole motivation behind inviting her to this Christmas party. And we saw what the motivation was based on the conversation that was had, which was, has Marcel cheated on Tisha? Or have there been rumors of Marcel cheating on Tisha? My thing is this. Is Mel having this secret phone friendship with Keke for years without Tisha's knowledge? It seems like even during the time that she and Tisha were friends. Is this not somewhere along the lines of what she mad at Destiny and Tisha for? About the whole talking to each other, knowing that she don't get along with somebody, because Keke and Tisha apparently have a long-standing issue. So is this not the same thing? And Mel says, you know, well, we don't talk about her cousin. And Stormy said, well, unless she wants to, right? And she said, well, I mean, of course we've talked about their relationship or lack thereof a time or two. And we've been able to relate to each other on, you know, how we feel about her. And ain't that the same thing she mad at Destiny for? Kimmy does let it be known that she does definitely think there's method to the madness with this new alliance Mel seems to have with Keke. So anyway, she moves on to explain the situation with Destiny. She explains that she and Destiny met and had brunch to hash out these receipts. And she explains the meeting with Destiny from her perspective. So Stormy asked the question, you know, do you think you and Destiny will ever be in a good place or, you know, back to where you were? And Mel said, absolutely not. And Kimmy is like, you know, I'm just kind of shocked that y'all are here. So Kimmy explains that, listen, you know, I know you're not getting along with Destiny and I know you're not getting along with Tisha. And, you know, I don't know how all of the drama is necessarily going to fare for our friendships because I'm wanting to plan a housewarming for Jalen. And Mel is saying, well, what are you trying to ask me? She said, you know, I want to ask you to come, but, you know, and Mel's like, well, who all is going to be there? And she says, well, of course, all of the regulars, to include Tisha and Marcel because they're family, and Destiny because I don't have any reason to not invite her. She hasn't done anything to me. And she said the only person I was going to consider not inviting was Martel. And so Mel goes, oh, you weren't going to invite Martel? Good guy, Martel. Kimmy said, please don't start with me. So Mel asked, well, why aren't you inviting Martel? And Kimmy said, well, you know, Martel kind of has this drama following him that's affecting other people being me. And I don't really want to deal with that. Mel said, you know, I wish you had this energy when it was me going through this. I wish that, you know, at that time you were saying, oh, you know, Martel's such a good guy. He has such a big heart. And Kimmy said, and I will say that today. I will say that Martel has a big heart. She said, that's what makes this difficult for me. And I'm sure that's the same thing that made things difficult for you. That, you know, when he was you know, you were ready to leave. But when he was super nice and he poured it on, you were like, oh, you know, he's kind of nice. Mel says in the confessional, you know, all I can say really in response to all of this is welcome to my world. They get to experience Martel like I've been experiencing him. And that's part of the thing. That's all you can do is allow people to experience a person. You don't have to go on a campaign to smear that person because what happens is you both get muddy. He's a narcissist. He's going to show himself. That's not going to go away. That doesn't go away because you're not the subject anymore. So all you got to do is let him show himself and let them see him in their time. That's it. And the flip side of that is that you have to allow people the freedom of having their own experience with a person because their experience may not always be your experience. Something I heard my mom say one time is, I don't have your heart for him. So just like people may not forgive your partner as quickly as you may forgive them, they may not hold a grudge for as long as you do. Moving on. Next, we see Destiny stopping by Martel's house. Let me tell y'all about this. So, Destiny is going by Martel's house to talk about her fallout with Melody because Martel knows Melody best. Okay. So, they sit down and start talking. And the first thing Destiny asks is, well, dang, did you get everything in the divorce? Because some cutting board that she gave to them is sitting on the wall. And Martel says, well, you know, you my girl, so it was coming with me. And then he says, well, you know, actually, no. Mel said, you know, that came from your friends, so you take that. Yeah, so she gave that to me like that. Martel, you is a lying ass. You said what happened, and then you just thought up a way to drum up drama and just made up a lie on the fly. You just said it was from my friend, so I decided I was taking it. And then you stand there scrubbing dishes and, well, you know what? No, I know what I'll do. They already ain't getting along. No, actually, see, she said, this from your friend. You take this back. You know she don't like you like that. But go, what happened between y'all? And Destiny, you ain't no damn better. You know he ain't got nothing in the damn divorce. Why would you ask him that? And Destiny uses this as her segue to go into what has happened between her and Mel. And she starts out with, I had coffee with Mel, it didn't go well, you know. And she was saying how I've been talking to her ops, Martel and Tisha. And, you know, and Martel is all up in arms about, you know, she's trying to turn everybody against me. And Destiny's explaining how it's impossible to cut off all these friends after marriage, and all of that is true. However, the issue for me in this scene came in with judgment and intention. Like, why would you go to your friend who already has a contentious co-parenting situation and add fuel to that fire? Why would you do that? Why would you go over there and the first thing out your mouth is, yeah, she said you the ops? You know these people have 4 children to raise together and they already don't get along. You know that he already struggles to manage himself, especially in this co-parenting situation. And you would go over there and instigate something by saying, yeah, I had a conversation with her and she called you the ops. Even if you want to share with him that, you know, y'all's relationship is not in the best place or it has come to an end. Listen, me and Mel have decided we're taking a break. We are just going to take some time from each other. But no, you went over there to stir up drama. And it was just like, why? You know what it is to have at least one child that you have to co-parent and know how difficult it is to the degree that you keep everything a secret. But you would come in and why? Just why? Why would you stir up this drama? And then she goes back into the woe is me storyline with the, you know, we as women went through divorce together and then we got on the other side of it. And, you know, once we were on the other side, I couldn't even call my friend. And then you slipped. She says, when I was moving back to Huntsville, Mel was one of my good girlfriends. Well, where's the rest of them? In the confessional, she was saying, I have a small village that Mel was a small part of. So then why is she the crux of your storyline? And then you and Martel are supposedly friends for all these years. The only conversation y'all can have is about you and Mel and him and Mel. That's all. This is giving stirring up drama. Then we move on to see Miss Wanda popping up at Tisha and Marcel's house. She's looking for Marcel for her hush money to buy her food truck. And she come with her proof that she got her business license now. So she has met all the prerequisites and she needs her check. But Marcel is apparently dodging her because he ain't there, but Tisha is. So, you know, she shows Tisha her business license and they get all excited. And Tisha tells her that she is going to have her shadow someone at Black in the kitchen and that she'll teach her all the financial stuff because it is very difficult to survive in the restaurant business. So since Marcel is out, Tisha calms her concerns by letting her know that, you know, listen, Marcel goes in whatever direction I pull him. So you're going to get this money. Don't worry about it. Honey. Listen, Marcel went to Africa without you and turned his damn phone off. This faux power trip that you're on is the wrong trip. You should have been booking a trip to Africa, not this damn power trip that you on that nobody believes, because you ain't pulling Marcel in a damn direction. And my thing with Miss Wanda is Miss Wanda has been accusing Marcel of having issues with infidelity for the longest. Now, if you really think this about him, why are you so eager to take his money? Because I don't know if this is just me, but do y'all remember in What's Love Got to Do with It? When Tina was going to leave Ike and run to her mama's house because, you know, Ike. And she called her mama to let her mama know she was coming. And then Ike called when he realized she left. And because Ike was paying all her mama's bills, she was loyal to Ike more so than her daughter. So it does beg the question, how committed to this purpose of defending Tisha it is Miss Wanda? Is this more a, you know, opportunity to get something for me? How much is this hush money, business money, food truck money, gonna compromise her commitment to protecting her daughter's best interests. I'm just saying. So then Tisha goes on to tell Miss Wanda about her most recent get-together with Kimmy. That she and Kimmy discussed Kimmy's comments on the reunion about she wouldn't be friends with Tisha if they weren't family. And she was saying she didn't really mean it like that. And Miss Wanda, yeah, she meant it like that. Tisha lets her know that she and Kimmy have worked it out. She understands where Kimmy was coming from, that she and Kimmy seem to be naturally coming back to a better place, and she's excited about that. So in other words, don't you start no all right? We finally getting over all of this. I don't even need you in this. Don't you start no. Then she lets her know that, you know, also while I was talking to Kimmy, she lets me know that Mel had a Christmas party that I wasn't invited to, but Keke was. Miss Wanda said, my little niece Keke? Yes, your little niece Keke. And the most confusing country-ass conversation I have ever heard in my life ensued from here. Miss Wanda and her daughter said so many things that were, I don't understand. They were bad. It was, what about a shoebox? I'm going to just tell you what they said because I ain't quite sure that I fully understand the conversation. Tisha says, Kimmy told me that Keke had a lot to say. And Miss Wanda said, oh, really? Well, she's a snake. And you don't want to say it because that's your cousin, but I'm going to say it. And I always watch that snake. Well, ain't her cousin your niece? But I guess you will say it. Okay. Tisha says, well, it's different with Keke because that's my cousin. And Miss Wanda said, no, it ain't no different because she's bashing you. And Tisha said, well, that's the problem right there. She feels like I'm living the life she's supposed to be living. And I don't want to say that she's jealous because we should be cheering each other on. Wanda said, but she's not. And that's why I always told you, never trust anybody that buys shoes that don't come in a box. What? Tisha even said, what? She said something about they sneaky and they liars. So, anybody that's ever walked into TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, Nordstrom Rack, or anywhere that, because let me tell you something, I'm a shoe fanatic. I will buy a shoe in a box, a bag in my hand. I do not care, okay? Now, you mean to tell me you buy some shoes that don't come in a box? You a sneaky liar that can't be trusted? Are you referring to stolen goods? Do you mean like shoes coming out of a trunk? What is Miss Wanda talking about? Then they carry on with this backwards conversation where, well, yeah, my mama always told me, don't worry about the ones that's out there in the street. Worry about the ones that's sleeping with you and around you every single day. And Tisha said, yeah, keep your enemies close, but your friends closer. That ain't the same. That ain't how it goes. It's the other way around. But God bless. And then it went straight to hell in the confessional. Lord, I love me some Miss Wanda, but... So Miss Wanda is in the confessional and she's trying to... she just kept saying that she thinks Keke is image of Tisha. My granddaddy was good for making up a word, okay? I mean, good for just making up a word. Miss Wanda takes me out. Miss Wanda is in the confessional talking about Keke is image of Tisha. She is image of Tisha marriage. She image of Tisha well-being and how she living. It took me a minute to realize she's envious. Keke should be more loyal to Tisha because there is blood related. If you feel like she ain't your family, take that as a loss and shake a bone and get the hell on. I have absolutely no clue in what way she just cursed Keke out. And then Miss Wanda want to know, why is it that Kimmy had to tell you that Keke was at the party and not Keke? Well, what was Keke going to say? Hey, girl, I went and just dragged your name and your marriage. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. What was she going to say? Miss Wanda starts to explain that she respects the fact that Kimmy brought this information back to Tisha and that Kimmy might have shed some of her snake skin. She ain't completely not a snake no more, but she just a little less of a snake. And then we go into the confessional where Miss Wanda declares war with Keke. I don't understand why we are so deep into Tisha's family matters, but yeah, this is a lot of old drama that I don't understand. So then we move on to Tiffany's office where Mel has come to visit her and they are talking about their lives as working moms. Tiffany tells Mel, you know, I don't know how you manage having 4 small kids running a business. Yeah, that's a lot. And so Mel asks her if she's considering having any more children, and she says that she is, you know, but that she is concerned about possibly having the same issue that she had when she had her first child, which she was told is a genetic issue. And because it's a genetic issue and she only knows who her biological mother is, she set out on this journey to find her biological father so that she can complete her genetic makeup. Mel asks her who's supposed to be going with her, and she tells her that Lewis is supposed to be going. And Mel goes into this whole thing about how they used to call me investigative detective girl. They used to call me investigative detective baby girl. And baby girl, I'll figure it all out. Tiffany decides in that moment that she thinks Mel would make a better partner than her husband. And so she invites Mel to come on the trip. And Mel said, well, if you're inviting me, I'm coming. And she said, yeah, you're definitely invited. And we're going to see how that goes over. So then we move on to Miss Wanda popping up at Keke's house. Keke has just moved in and we getting the whole excuse my mess speech. These people, yeah, you gonna definitely be the villain this season. They ain't even gave you a chance to clean up and move your boxes around and stuff. Just, hey, we coming to your house. You ready? No? All right, we on the way. So she and Miss Wanda sit down and, you know, she tells her, listen, I'm in the middle of moving. I just moved in. Had I known you were going to pop up, I would have, you know, been a little more prepared. And she offered her some wine. She said, you know, all I got is these plastic cups right now because I got to unpack my wine glasses. Right now I'm being hood rich. And before she could even finish offering her the wine, Miss Wanda said, you mean hood rich or hood bitch? I mean, just, why is you talking to your niece like that? But before I could even finish being shocked, Keke done snapped back at her. Keke said, I leave the hood bitching to you. I said, oh, this is your auntie. Okay, yes, this is your auntie. You was ready for her because I was not. So Keke lets Miss Wanda know that, listen, yes, I had a meeting and conversation with Tisha that didn't go so well. And I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. And Miss Wanda says, yes, that's why I popped up. Lord, here the drama go. So Miss Wanda said, you know, the word got back to me that you talking about my daughter. And Keke said, well, when I was at Mel's event, Tisha's name did come up. And Miss Wanda said, well, you know, you at an event where she's not invited, but y'all having a conversation about her. Them some messy ass women. I just think that's messy. And you one of them. Keke said, now you calling me messy is about the pot calling the kettle as black as your jacket and your leggings. Because you the last person that could call anybody messy. And well, you know, hey, I always say, when you're right, you're right. I'm with you when you're right. So Keke starts to try to explain to Miss Wanda that, you know, listen, when things happen with family, they're a little bit more sensitive. And what happened here is that before I had an interaction talking Tisha's business with Mel, Tisha had an interaction talking my business with Mel. If I confided my personal business in her, you know, because she's my cousin and was my best friend at the time, why was it okay for her to go talking my personal business all those years ago? And who's really backstabbing if that's the case? And Miss Wanda, rather than say, yeah, no, Tisha was wrong for that, or say, you know, I understand as an aunt to her niece that your feelings are hurt and that was wrong, she starts to defend Tisha and says, well, you know, no, she was talking to her friend who she thought was her friend at the time. And Keke said, no, that's not okay. If I tell her my personal business, it's not okay for her to go tell her friend. She said, is it okay for if she confides her personal business in me, for me to go tell her personal business to my friends? And Miss Wanda dodges the bullet again. Well, that ain't your friend. Mel ain't your friend. And Keke follows her right down the distracted rabbit hole about, well, I would say that me and Melody are friends. I would say so. You can tell Keke don't even believe that. Bless her heart. Regardless of who is friends with who, if I tell you my personal business, you shouldn't be going to repeat my personal business to your friend as entertainment, gossip, whatever y'all are using it for. That's not for you to have conversation with somebody else about. It's between me and you. That's the point, not who is friends with who. And so Keke says, listen, at the end of the day, Tisha should not be repeating my personal business to anybody if I confide in her, period. And so Miss Wanda said, well, you know, how long ago did this happen? And Keke said about 4 or 5 years ago, and Miss Wanda lost it. You mean to tell me bitches are still talking about stuff from 4 and 5 years ago? Well, Miss Wanda, is the statute of limitations up? And so as Miss Wanda's carrying on about that's stupid, Keke said, listen, this has been going on between us for a very long time. And she starts explaining how, you know, when we were growing up, I wasn't allowed to be around our family. And Miss Wanda goes off about, yeah, because we were from the project and y'all grew up in a home house and had all this and all that and thought y'all were better than us. And Keke said, but what did I do? She said, when I was 13, I reached out and I came, you know, to have a relationship with y'all. And Miss Wanda said, yeah, and you and Tisha been in chaos ever since. She said, yes, because I feel like y'all took out on me whatever issues existed between the families. And she starts talking about this rivalry between Miss Wanda and her dad, who is Wanda's brother. That, you know, y'all pit me and Tisha against each other. And it's always, oh, well, Keke's house is this big. Well, Tisha's house is that big. Well, Keke's renting her house. Well, Tisha's buying her house. And there's always this compare and contrast. Y'all are always talking about who's jealous of one another. And that seeps into me and Tisha's relationship. And that actually makes perfect sense. She has just basically explained what the division and rivalry is in this family. And somebody got to end it. Miss Wanda is sitting there wanting to fight her rather than saying, you know what, you're right. Because at the end of the day, she was a child in this situation, born to a rivalry that apparently existed before her. It's kind of basically watching a generational curse in play. And that whole gathering ends with Miss Wanda telling Keke she told Tisha, don't hang around bitches. And Keke said, I wouldn't hang around them dogs either. Child, they need a whole lot of prayer. I'm moving on. Reluctantly, though, because we moving on to Tiffany and Lewis at an Airbnb that looks like it's up the street from their house. I guess maybe they just wanted to get away from their kids. I don't know. Tiffany opens the door, trying to be sexy. She has a saxophonist and a private chef there. And she starts trying to unbutton Lewis's shirt as I am cringing and can't fast forward fast enough. Okay, it was just so awkward and uncomfortable. They go sit down at the table. She sits on his lap. You can see the chef just rocking back and forth like he just is uncomfortable. Me too, sir. Me too. And they sit down and start talking. And, you know, she says they're celebrating their 1.5-year anniversary. So after Tiffany starts chugging her wine, Lewis asks her, you know, what's going on with everyone else? How's everything? Because why am I here? She lets him know that Mel came by her office recently and that she let her know that she was planning to go to Utah and that, you know, if it was okay with him, she was thinking about making it a girls' trip. And so Louis, you know, asked her, is this the real reason you brought me here? Is this really a us night or a break the news to me night? She goes into explaining how she feels like Mel has an assertiveness, an ability to think about things or ask questions that she may not think about or ask, and, you know, kind of take the lead on those things, and it'll be a treat to have that. And she starts telling Louis how, you know, you normally like to let me do those things. You know, you don't like to travel, and this shouldn't be an issue. And he starts to kind of express that he's disappointed because this is something he would like to do with her. And this heifer said, you look a little disappointed right now, and that's not what the Whitlows do. You look sad, and I need you to look glad. Louis looked at her like, what the hell? And they go on in the confessional to discuss that the issue for Louis is that Tiffany was able to find her biological mother with her son's father. That's an experience that they have together. He has not had the opportunity to even meet her mother. And now that she's going on this quest to find her father, he was going to have that opportunity to help be a part of that taken away from him. If I were Tiffany, I would be doing some thinking about how much this means to my marriage, if you're actually trying to keep your marriage, because it seems like it's a big deal to Louis. So Louis ends up telling her, look, whatever you decide to do, I support you either way. I'm going to tell you like this. If you know like I know, you might want to double check by taking your husband on that trip. Yeah, that's going to be one of them things that's going to keep coming up for a long time after that trip is over. So they move from this awkward conversation right into the next one where they're talking about having a baby. And Louis is basically asking her, how you think we're going to have a new baby when you seem to be busy all the time. And it also seems that they're not doing any of the baby making activities, as mentioned in this wild ass trailer. Okay, this mid-season trailer is just, I don't know where this is headed. It looks like Tisha and Mel are finally going to come face to face. Miss Wanda is running around, but she has photo proof of Martel at a motel. Kimmy is going to confront Keke. Tisha is going to confront Martel. Louis lets it be known he ain't getting none, and Martel lets him know there is a wonderland in Atlanta where you can go and have all your dreams come true. Tiffany and Louis are going to be confronting their marital issues. Martel is out and about and in a woman's face running his mouth with no ring on. Martel is about to absolutely snap over not being invited to this housewarming. And Tisha looks like she is on the edge of breakdown, as it looks like Keke is about to try to expose the secrets of her marriage. All I'm going to say is, Keke, I would hope that you wouldn't go this low against family when you just finished saying how it's so sensitive when it comes from family, and you want to be closer to your cousin, but you feel like the rivalry in your family needs to stop. That's the end of this review. I ain't got no more. As always, I thank you so much for coming down here, listening to me, letting me get it off my chest. I will see you next time. I love you, mean it. Bye.